In this video, we're going to talk about how to jump a motorcycle and how to do it properly. Jumping is one of the funnest things you can do on a motorcycle. However, when it's done wrong, it can be very painful and hurt really bad if you were to crash. So I want you guys to be safe and ride smart. And so I'm going to break down what I do when I jump so that you guys can begin to practice those same things and unleash your riding ability. So the first thing when we're approaching a jump is the same thing as the body positioning. You want to have your feet on the balls of your pegs. You want to be gripping the bike. You want to be bent over at your hips, centered, and your arms up looking ahead. So as we're coming up to the jump, we're in proper body positioning, and then preparing for the jump, your suspension is going to rebound into the jump, and then as it comes up, it's going to spring off of it. So this is something that you have to learn and feel for yourself. So as that suspension is rebounding up, the bike is going to basically spring in the direction of your weight. So if you were to be coming up into this jump and you're leaning forward going off this jump, it's a good chance that suspension is going to spring you forward and you're going to end over the bars. Also, if you're leaning too far back when you go off that jump, same thing is it's going to bring the front end up and over back to you. And also, if you're leaning too far on one side, that's also going to cause the bike to eject one way or another. So it's really important to master be centered on the motorcycle, and when you go off the jump, what I like to do is actually lean back just slightly so that you can anticipate the trajectory of that jump launching you. In light corners, there's a lot of different kinds of jumps. We have tabletops, doubles, triples, launch jumps, peaked jumps. There's all kinds of different styles, so it's really important to start small and develop the skills and then slowly increase to the bigger jumps. Another thing to mention is your throttle control is huge when you come up to a jump. You always want to be really smooth throttle as you're transitioning up the jump. You never want to completely let off the throttle while you're going off, or else it's going to throw the bike into an endo. And if you have too much throttle, it might bring the front end up. So it's a dance. You know, you really have to balance this out and really master starting small and just being really consistent or smooth with the throttle to get you up. A pro tip, when you go off a jump and say your front end is too high, one thing you can do is you can actually tap the rear brake, and the rear tire's in motion, and when you stop that, it stops, and it'll actually bring the front end down a little bit, which is kind of cool. If you know and understand that, you can use that to your advantage when you go off a jump. And also, if you go off a jump and say you're leaning forward a little bit too much and the bike starts to go forward, you can actually give it throttle in the air and it'll actually bring you back out. So it's kind of a cool fail-safe if you are having troubles. So I want you guys to go out, get your motorcycles, and go start trying and training these tips into your riding. They say it takes about 2,000 to 3,000 reps of anything before you have the muscle memory to not have to think about it anymore. So that means for the next 2,000 jumps, you're gonna have to subconsciously think about these techniques and do it over and over and over until you can master it. So then you'll do it naturally without even thinking it. So guys, ride safe, ride smart, use your head. I want you guys to become excellent dirt bike riders someday, but you gotta master these simple fundamentals so that we can get you there.